Hallo liebe Leute und willkommen zurück auf meinem Kanal. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sophie and I would love it if you hit that big red subscribe button down below. So this video is very long overdue. It's things that I miss about Germany. If you don't already know, I was actually an au pair in Germany back in 2018. I actually worked for two different host families. I spent about 3 months with each host family, so I lived in two different places. But both of those places were in Baden-Württemberg, so I know Baden-Württemberg quite well, at least anyway, that part of Germany. And yeah, suddenly now in 2021, well, that's the first time I've said that. Anyway, suddenly now in 2021, I've decided I want to talk about all the things that I miss about Germany, because I've been missing these things about Germany for a long while now, but this year, oh, actually 2020, not this year, back in 2020 especially, I really miss these things, not really having travelled at all. And yeah, I noticed the other week when I was looking at my analytics that there's actually more people from Germany watching my channel than anywhere else in the world. So hi to all you Germans watching. Welcome to my channel. Maybe you'll be interested in what stuff I miss about your country, and maybe all of you who aren't from Germany will still be interested in what stuff I miss from Germany and about Germany. I don't know. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing that I miss about Germany is probably going to come as no surprise to any of you Germans watching, and that is the Dönerladen, which I might be pronouncing incorrectly. I'm sorry. I find it really hard to pronounce German words when I'm talking in English. If I'm talking in German, I feel like I can pronounce stuff in German better than if I'm talking in English and then just add in one German word to the sentence. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Technically, I shouldn't really be missing these because I'm vegetarian now, so I can't eat doner kebabs anyway. Yeah, if you're not from Germany and if you're from the UK, basically a Dönerladen is a kebab shop. And you might be thinking, Sophie, well, why do you miss that? Because you can get doner kebabs everywhere in the UK and there's kebab shops everywhere in the UK, but they are different. It's slightly different. And also I miss the doner box, should I say doner box, and the falafel box. I can actually eat the falafel box. Yeah, basically just a box with chips and kebab in, or a box with chips and falafel in. And I don't know, I feel like the Germans will understand why I miss this, but because this is just from my experience when I was in Germany. Obviously not every German out there loves a doner kebab. I'm just saying, from my experience when I was in Germany, pretty much everybody liked doner, and yeah, everybody was always eating doner, and everybody was pretty insistent that their local Dönerladen was the best one in the whole of Germany, which obviously isn't true because not everybody's local kebab shop can be the best in the whole country, Well, Dönerladen, not kebab shop. I don't want to call it a kebab shop and offend anybody, but I feel like that's the best description for an English speaker, the best translation for a Dönerladen I feel like would be kebab shop. That's just my personal opinion. I think that's the best translation. Okay, just quickly actually, I want to make a quick disclaimer that I probably should have made at the start of this video, but I forgot. So yeah, we're making this disclaimer now. I don't want to offend anybody with this video. If I make any generalizations, it's just things that I've noticed, slight observations, that I know every person in Germany is different anyway, obviously. Yeah, it's just a bit of fun. I don't mean to offend anybody, and yeah, maybe I'll miss out some stuff that you personally feel like I should miss about Germany or from Germany. And if you do feel like I've missed anything, feel free to leave it down below in the comment section. These are just a few things that I thought of whilst I was planning this video anyway. There probably are more things that I do miss about Germany if I did sit down for I don't know, a while and really think long and hard about it. But yeah, just a little disclaimer. And anyway, now on to the second thing that I miss about Germany, and that is Biergarten, which you may think, Sophie, why do you miss beer gardens? We have beer gardens in the UK. Yes, but they're not Deutsche Biergarten. They're English Biergarten. They're different. And personally, what I really miss is Deutsche Biergarten mit seinem eigenen hergestellten Bier. I don't know if I said that correctly because I haven't spoken German for like 2 weeks, so my German's a bit rusty. But yeah, just from my experience when I was in Germany, there were a lot of beer gardens that had like their own beer that they would produce there, and I liked going to all of these different beer gardens and trying what beer they had on offer, because, you know, I weren't going to find that beer elsewhere. I weren't going to find it in the supermarket. It was interesting, and, you know, not every beer garden in Germany has their own beer that they produce there. But yeah, I remember in Tübingen, I had a beer that was produced there, and in Speyer, I think I might be pronouncing that incorrectly, Speyer, I think it's in Rhineland-Pfalz, not in Baden-Württemberg. I think it's close to Baden-Württemberg though, and I went there. Yeah. Anyway, rambling on. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I think there I had a beer that was produced there as well, and yeah, they were both nice. And yeah, I just miss German beer, particularly Weiss beer, because I mean, I have had Weiss beer, German Weiss beer in the UK, but it's not something that I will find at most pubs and stuff. In fact, I think the only place I've had Weiss beer in the UK is in a nightclub in Bangor that has like a little bit, which I think is called the Bierhalle or Biergarten, I'm not too sure, but it has a little bit where they have like the bar staff dressed in like Dindel. They literally only have women working in that bit as well. It's a bit sexist, and they're dressed in Dindel. Yeah, they sell a Weiss beer there. I'm pretty sure they do. I feel like I've had a Weiss beer there. Yeah, and I think the only other place in the UK I had a Weiss beer was a German place, which I can't remember the name of, but it was in Manchester. But yeah, anyway, rambling on. I just miss Weiss beer, particularly dunkles Weiss beer. That's mein Lieblingsbier. Ja, ich liebe. Ich hätte immer gerne ein dunkles Weissbier. The third thing that I miss, which actually I need to check my list, the third thing that I miss is, Weissbier. Ich habe das schon gesagt. Ja, ich vermisse Weissbier. Wheat beer, if you don't know what that is, Weissbier is wheat beer. Yeah, I like a helles Weissbier auch. Okay, so I promise that they're not all going to be about food and drink, but the next thing that I've written on my list that I miss about Germany is the Eiscafés. And I mean, can you blame me? And you might be thinking, well, don't you have like Eiscafés in Germany, in the UK, sorry. And yeah, like of course we have places where we can go buy ice cream, but at least in the part of the UK where I live, like in my town, there is no ice cafe. There is an ice cream man who comes along in a van, only in the summer though, of course, in the spring. He comes along in his van selling 99s, which apparently back in the day were 99p, but now they're like £1.50, possibly even more, because I haven't gotten a 99 in so long. But it's like the little like ice cream that comes out of the machine, like the little whipped ice cream, whereas like, you know, in Germany, you go to the ice cafes and you find gelato. That's what I miss, just finding gelato, and finding gelato like so cheap. I feel like in Germany it was so cheap. It was always like, I don't think I ever paid more than €1.50 for a scoop. I don't know why I said pour, that's a Spanish word. Whatever. Anyway, it's always like less than €1.50 for a scoop, and I think the only place that I paid like €1.50 for a scoop was like Baden-Baden, and that's where like the rich people live. or at least from what I've heard, the rich people live in Baden. I don't know, but most places I went to, it was always like €1.20 for a scoop, which I don't know, I just felt like it was personally very good for like gelato. I feel like I would pay more than that in the UK for gelato. And yeah, there's places in the UK that we can buy gelato, but I tend to find places where we can buy gelato less, and it tends to be just like more touristy areas, where even like when I was staying in a small village in Germany, there was an ice cafe, and I don't know if that's, you know, that's just that particular village and not every village in Germany actually has them, but from my experience, everywhere I went in Germany there was an ice cafe where you could get gelato, and not only that, spaghetti ice, which, not gonna lie, I'm not a massive fan of spaghetti ice. If you don't know what it is, basically is what it sounds like. It is ice cream that is in the shape of like spaghetti, and then they put like, I think it's strawberry sauce, maybe raspberry sauce, I don't know, like red sauce on top to look like pasta sauce, and then I want to say they put like white chocolate on top. I can't really remember what they put on top, but they put something on top to look like you've put like Parmesan cheese on top. Yeah. Or should I say Parmesan cheese? I think that's how it's actually pronounced. That was me being very British, calling it Parmesan. Anyway, yeah, I think that's it. And I do like spaghetti ice, not gonna lie, but I just think it's a bit overrated because it's just vanilla ice cream made to look like spaghetti, and I'd rather have just like gelato and choose like different flavours, whatever. I like to get 2 scoops of gelato every time, 2 different flavours, it's just what I like. Okay, so this next thing that I miss about Germany is not actually a type of food or drink. I know what you're thinking, finally, and it is Baggerseen und natürliche Seen auch, in die man schwimmen gehen kann. And yeah, basically, from my experience in Germany anyway, there's lots of lakes to go swimming. To be fair, I was based in Baden-Württemberg, which is obviously in the south, so it's the warmer part of Germany, I think. Baden-Württemberg und auch Bayern, Bavaria are like the warmest areas of Germany, would make sense because they are in the more southern part of Germany. Yeah, but where I was anyway, there was lots of lakes that people could go swimming in, and I know there are lakes in the UK where people can also go swimming, but at least where I live, I don't think there is one or there is any. I've never been in a lake where you can go swimming. I just feel like in the UK as well, we don't really usually have the weather to go swimming in a lake. Like, we're happy just to go swimming in a beach and the sea at the beach when we actually get a chance to go swimming and actually go to the beach, because it's like, you know, we don't really get that many days that we can go do that. But at least anyway, in like the more southern part of Germany, I feel like it does get slightly, only ever so slightly, warmer in the summer. And at least when I was in Germany, it was that year that we had the big heat wave, and it was my second host family that I was working for at the time, and they liked going swimming in lakes, sorry, false friend, and they would take me with them a lot, and yeah, it was good fun, and many of these lakes were free, not all of them. Yeah, some of them you had to pay for, but it wasn't too much, I don't think. I don't think it was like much more than €5. I think the most we paid was €6. Maybe not even that, I can't really remember. But yeah, there were some that were free. Okay, so the next thing that I miss about Germany is Straßenfeier oder Straßenfest, or should I say Straßenfesten to make it plural? I don't know what the correct word is for street party in German, but I wanted to continue with the theme of announcing each of the things that I miss in German, and I'm just guessing because German is quite logical that for the word street party they would use the word street and make it a compound noun with either the word party or the word festival, but I'm guessing it's Straßenfeier. I don't know, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, I miss street parties, which, you know, you may think, well, don't you have those in the UK? And I used to say that we didn't. Like, I made a culture shock video ages ago and I was like, oh yeah, we don't really have street parties in the UK. And then in 2020 for the Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee or whatever, there were people having street parties. So apparently we do have them in the UK. I've just never been invited to one. Which makes me sound really sad. But yeah, in Germany, both the host families that I worked for went to little street parties. I know with the first host family, they had one where they like all had a barbecue just in their neighbourhood, and then the second host family that I worked for, I was there at the time of the World Cup, and it was the Germany versus Mexico game, and they had a street party and there was a barbecue and everybody brought like their own like little salads or whatever. Like my host mum was Mexican, so she brought like some guacamole that she'd made and stuff. So yeah, which was quite funny because Mexico actually won that game and obviously everyone else there was German, so they were all supporting Germany, and then obviously she was supporting Mexico and Mexico won, and I thought that was quite funny that, you know, most people there were supporting Germany and then Mexico won. I honestly didn't really care too much who won. I was going to support Germany because I was in Germany at the time, but obviously it didn't bother me too much because I'm British, so I just found it funny that Germany lost to Mexico. Sorry to any Germans watching, I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know, I just thought it was nice how everybody had nice street parties. In my neighbourhood, we don't do that. Okay, so the next thing that I miss about Germany, again, I feel like should come as no surprise to any Germans who are watching. Again, I'm kind of making a generalisation here, but at least every German that I spoke to whilst I was in Germany really liked this thing, and and it is frisches deutsches Brot. And yeah, just fresh German bread. It is good, and at least like from my experience, both the host families that I worked for would buy fresh bread, and I would always see loads of Germans getting fresh bread, and just other people. I think my host kids' grandparents, for the second host family I worked for, I remember going around theirs and having fresh bread as well, where I feel like here in the UK most of us just tend to buy like a bagged loaf of like Hovis or Kinsmeal, and in Germany they tend to buy like fresh bread from their local bakery, or like the little local bakery that is in their local Edeka or Lidl or Rewe or whatever. They go and they buy their fresh bread, and it is good bread. It is really, really good bread. And yeah, I miss it. And yeah, we've got fresh bread here in the UK, but it's not the same, is it? It's different fresh bread, and yeah, it's just not the same. I miss the German fresh bread. And the next thing that I miss about Germany kind of goes along hand in hand with the fresh German bread, because it is another baked good, and you can probably guess what it's going to be right now. But the Germans, they just seem to bake really well, and it is Deutscher Kuchen. I might be pronounced that incorrectly, but yeah, I love German cake, German fresh cake, whether it's Erdbeerkuchen or Schwarzwaldkuchen or Käsekuchen, whatever. It is good cake, and I don't know, I just loved going to little cafes in Germany and ordering cake because it was always going to be good cake, or just going to the local bakery and just looking at all the cakes. I just love German cake. And the next thing that I miss about Germany is actually alle die schöne Städte und Dörfer. Obviously, not every city and village in Germany is pretty. No offence to any Germans watching, but like every country in the world, you know, Germany has its nice parts and its not so nice parts. Every country has its nice parts, you know, and its not so nice parts. But Germany does have a lot of nice parts, a lot of places which are super pretty, and I feel like it should have a lot more tourists because of that. I feel like particularly with British tourists, like we don't tend to go to Germany other than like to go to Berlin, but there's so much more to see to Germany than just Berlin. Berlin is lovely. I'm not saying don't go to Berlin. I'm just saying there is a lot more to see, and there are a lot of places which I feel like, you know, look like they've come out of a fairy tale. And I know, you know, that's a bit like cliche because Germany does have this kind of reputation of being like this fairy tale place. Like, you'll see a lot of like travel influencers be like, oh my god, Germany is like a fairy tale, and I think people think of it like that because obviously Bruder Grimm, and you know, there are, like I said, some places that look like they've come straight out of a Bruder Grimm Märchen, which is probably where they got some of like the inspiration from to describe the setting in all of their fairy tales. I don't know, but yeah, there are some places that look like Schneefinchen, you know, could have lived there, or Aschenputtel, is that how you say Cinderella? Yeah, there are places that do just look like that. They're just really beautiful. I know Rottenburg ob der Taube, I was lucky enough to go there. I know people would kind of describe that as like a fairy tale place. There are some other places in Germany that are described as like fairy tale places that I didn't get to go to. I did do a fair bit of travelling whilst I was there. I did make some vlogs from the start of my trip, but I only made those when I was working for my first host family. My second host family, they actually took me on a lot of trips with them, and I never told them I had a YouTube channel, nor did I feel really comfortable filming a vlog in front of them, so I never really filmed any vlogs from the second half of my trip. Yeah, unfortunately. I'm sure I could have told them that I had a YouTube channel and it would have been fine. I just didn't. I was like kind of new to making videos at the time and didn't want to tell. Okay, so my camera cut out because my memory card was full, so sorry about that. I guess in a way it's just my camera reminding me that I need to hurry up and move on to my final point, otherwise this video is going to be way too long. Also, it's getting really dark now. I think it's like trying to start to rain, and that's why it's getting dark. I can see a few little drops of rain on the window, but it doesn't really look like it's raining yet, it's just dark. So yeah, anyway, I need to hurry up before it gets even darker. It is actually like 1:30 in the afternoon here, so it's not late or anything, it's just getting dark. Anyway, the final thing that I miss about Germany, well, not actually the final thing, there are way more things, but the final thing that I'm going to mention for this video is, again, another type of food, and another thing which I can't actually eat anymore because I'm vegetarian now, and I'm pretty sure they have gelatin in them. And no, it's not Haribo, because we actually have Haribo in the UK, although we do not have as many Haribos, different types of Haribos in the UK. Like, we don't have those mice. I remember having some Haribo mice when I was in Germany that we don't have. Yeah, we don't have as many different types of Haribo. I feel like we have the main ones like Star Mix and stuff. And my favourite type of Haribo is actually the giant strawberries, which are vegetarian anyway, so I can actually eat those ones. But yeah, this thing I miss is Larkgummi. I think there's loads of different flavours, but I only ever tried the, I think they were called the Rotfruchte, because it's plural. Oh yeah, it's definitely raining now. I'm sorry if you can hear rain. Yeah, Rotfruchte ones, which were like berries and they had like little liquid in, I don't know, just sugary stuff, sweet stuff, and they were really nice. I just tried these by chance because my host kid was eating them and we were like sharing them out in the car, but obviously I think they were bought more for my host kid, but we were just sharing them out in the car. I weren't just stealing sweets off of my host kid, I'm not that mean. We were just sharing them out and they were really nice, and I kind of miss them, and I can't buy them here, and I can't eat them anyway because I'm vegetarian now. Kind of sad. But yeah, anyway, that's the last thing that I'm going to mention in this video, so I'm going to end this video here. Please do give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Maybe I will do a part 2, as I'm pretty sure I can think of more things about Germany that I miss, because there's lots of nice things about Germany and I miss some of them, well, a lot of them. And yeah, hit that big red subscribe button down below to see more videos from me. Follow me on Instagram and all of that lovely stuff, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!